My name's Asher, I'm 27 and I live in London. I'm a self-employed director of an organisation that I founded called Creative Opportunities. I've been registered blind since I was 14. I have retinal detachments in both eyes and Charles Bonnet syndrome. Politics needs to be accessible to everyone, and voting needs to be accessible and inclusive. Everyone needs to be able to feel like they can express their views on local and global issues. To have free and fair elections, people need to be able to vote independently and in private. And currently, for a lot of disabled people, they're not able to do that. And I think if we make voting more accessible and voter registration more inclusive, then we'll have a healthier, more representative democracy and society. Currently, polling stations aren't prepared for people with disabilities to vote independently and in secret, and I think that needs to change. Before you even get to the polling station, I think being able to independently travel is an issue that needs examining. Once you arrive at the polling station, I think it can sometimes be daunting for whoever's working there because they're not sure exactly how to support you. They have a template which they're meant to use and is meant to make the voting process independent and private. However, it's just like a stencil which doesn't really do the job, and you still have to trust that they're reading the candidates' names to you and telling you that where you're putting a cross is actually where you intend to put it. For me, I don't think it's in secret if you're depending on someone else to read out the candidates' names or to tell you where to put a cross. If we have electronic voting or online voting, I think that will make voting more accessible and inclusive and will lead to a more representative democracy and a healthier society. There's a lot of work to be done in wider society around accessibility, and accessible voting is just one aspect of how we make the world more inclusive. Everyone assumes that democracy is something that everyone has access to, but unfortunately, in my experience with working with young disabled people and other marginalised communities, they don't feel included and they don't feel like they can exercise their democratic rights. The more accessible that local politics is, the wider participation we'll have in society and the more range of views that we have and the plurality of ideas. From the information that political parties send out to the polling stations themselves, there needs to be changes to make them accessible for people with disabilities. Not everyone's confident with using technology, but personally I think electronic voting and online voting is the way forward because it means that people will be able to vote independently and in private. People should feel like they can change politics, and if they want it to be representative, then they need to get involved. Different decisions get made depending on who's listening or who's making some noise about what they want in life. If you're concerned about the accessibility of a polling station and you're not sure where to find accessible information about who you're going to vote for, I'd recommend ringing your council and seeing what provision they have in place. The majority of blind and partially sighted people want to go to the polling station. I'm quite lucky that I've got supportive friends and family that can assist me in getting to the polling station. There needs to be several different solutions. People need to be able to choose what suits them best. If they want to go to the polling station, then they can. If they want to vote by proxy or by post, then they can. There's a lot of work that needs to be done to make voting accessible to all marginalised communities. The electoral system that we have at the moment is outdated, and we need to see changes if we want a fully functioning, healthy democracy.